Hey guys, how is everyone? My name's Ellyn. We're going to be doing a little bit of a boot camp HIIT workout today. It's all bodyweight exercises. You don't have to worry about having any equipment. I know you probably see some of these kettlebells in the background. Do not need those, all bodyweight. We're going to do the format a little bit different today than what you're used to with some of the videos that we've posted on Merritt's page already. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the exercises and I'm going to give you the workout to do on your own. We will go through the mobility together and show you what that looks like. All right, so here's the mobility that we're going to do today. All of these exercises, with the exception of hip openers, are going to be in the workout. So kind of pay attention to those and some modifications if you need them in the workout. So we'll go ahead and just get started with this. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see me, and we'll go through the mobility starting with 5 hip openers. We got a lot of lunge movements, lots of squat movements in the workout today. So we're gonna just open up those hips a little bit. So all you're gonna do is swing that leg open, nice and controlled, get a good stretch in there. We wanna do a nice dynamic warm up today before we get started. You can also do these walking backwards, it's easier for you. I get about 3 steps and then I hit the wall. So whatever works best for you, you're gonna do 5 on each side. The next one is gonna be a 5 lunges with a reach. We're gonna do a step back lunge today. We're gonna get a big step backwards, drop down to that knee, and we're just gonna reach overhead, really stretch those obliques and your hip flexor out, and then you're just back up to center. We're gonna do 5 of these on each side. Modifications in the workout when there are lunges. There's no reach involved in the workout, but if you're doing lunges, it's to just change your depth a little bit. So you're just not going to go quite as low. So in the workout, we're not going to kneel all the way down. You know, we'll just do a regular lunge. If you need to modify, just don't go quite as low in your depth on those. Okay. Next up is 5 mountain climbers on each side. So I'm going to show you what those are going to look like on here, and I'll show you a modification for those. So what we want to do is make sure our hips are parallel to the floor. We don't want to sink here. We don't want to pike up here. Everything stays nice and tight. Hips are tucked. Shoulders are down and back away from our ears. And we're just climbing the mountain, 5 of those on each side. If you need a modification for this, just go to an elevated surface. Again, drop those hips down, shoulders are down and back. All right, march through those. All right, next is 5 walkouts. We are gonna do these to loosen up our posterior chain, so glutes, hamstrings. It's also gonna loosen up a little bit of our upper body. You can add a push-up to this if you want to. You do not have to. In the workout, same thing. We have walkouts. Don't have to add the push-up if you don't want to. But all we're gonna do is just walk right out into that position. Push up here if you want. Have an extra challenge, and then back in. There are plenty of other push-ups in the workout, so if you do not want to do them during the walkouts, that's fine. And walk back in. If you need a modification for this, the big reach up, okay? You're gonna walk out. If you need to drop to your knees and then go into that plank, that is fine. One more. All right, walk back in. Okay, total body warm up there. Next one is gonna be 5 pike plank push-ups. Some alliteration for you. Pike plank push-ups. Again, we're back in that push-up position. Same thing as in mountain climbers. So hips are parallel, shoulders are down and back. All you're doing is piking up like a down dog position and then push up. Up. Push up. Give me 5 of those. If you need a modification for this, again, hop to that elevated surface. I would rather you do these, on an elevated surface than to drop to your knees for push-up. It sort of mimics a regular push-up, I think better anyway. So pull those shoulders down and back. You're just piking up And then you can go into that push-up. All right, 5 of those if you need that modification. Okay, last one we're gonna do, this is probably the most challenging if you're not quite as coordinated, is a 10-step crawl. So we're gonna be in a tabletop position or a 4-point position. You're gonna bring your toes under, your shoulders are directly over your wrists. So we don't wanna be way out here, all right? Hips and knees are in line, same thing, okay? Now, if we are thinking about our hips in this position, if you're thinking about a cat-cow, you do not want your hips to sink down. You want them to be tucked under, so you want to keep everything nice and tight here. And then you want to make sure that your neck stays in line with your spine, so don't let your chin drop to your chest. So keep everything nice and neutral. Pull the shoulders down away from your ears. And all we're going to do is lift our knees up off the ground here. Okay, so that's the start of the position. I will show you, and then we will start crawling. So same thing, knees are up. It's a very controlled movement. I'm gonna go 5 steps forward, 5 steps backward. Get that coordination down before we start. That way you kind of understand what the movement is like. All right, so we should be pretty warmed up. With that, you can practice your crawls, pause me at any time that you need to, and go ahead and practice those exercises. Again, they will be in the workout. So now that we're warmed up, let's go ahead and look at the workout. So we just did mobility. We're gonna do 3 rounds of exercise today. So the first round is an 8-minute attack. And what attack means is you're just gonna try and go through that as many times as you can. So 8 pike push-ups, 8 regular lunges. Left, right means you have to do it on both sides. So it's really 16 lunges. 8 mountain climbers and 8 jump squats, which I will show you. And you are going to count how many times you can get through that. Now, we are not necessarily going for speed. You're just competing against yourself or whoever else is in your household, I guess. But really, it's just, it's your workout, so you're just competing against yourself. So just keep track of that number, because in round 3, we're going to try and match that same exact number of rounds that you got in station 1. So 8-minute attack, as many times through as you can, 8 pike push-ups, 8 lunges on each side, 8 mountain climbers, and I'll show you what jump squats are. The second station, we're gonna get into a little bit different. You're gonna do 30 seconds of each exercise, and then without a rest, you're gonna go back to the top, and you're gonna do 60 seconds of each exercise. So I suggest having your phone out to keep track of time for you. So you'll do 30 seconds of crawls, which we did in the warm-up. If you need a break during crawls, try to stay up in that up in that plank position, so your knees are still off the ground. You're not necessarily crawling. So let's say you crawl for 15 seconds and then you just hold for 15 seconds for that first time through. Bird dogs, I'll show you what those look like. I'll show you what those look like. And then we're gonna do some squats for 30 and 60, and then pike planks. Pike planks are just a pike push-up without, a pike plank push-up without the push-up. So you're just gonna be here. I'll show you, I know the screen's small, but you're just in that pike and then drop to the push, high plank. All right, just don't let your hips sink. All right, then round 3, like I said, very similar to round 1. We're gonna do another 8-minute attacks as many times as you can, and you are basically doing similar exercises. We changed pike plank push-ups to just regular push-ups, and we're gonna do drop squats instead of jump squats. So we simplified the exercises a little bit. It's not necessarily gonna be easier, but essentially what you wanna try and do is match the number of rounds you got in station 1 with the number of rounds you got in station 3. Yeah, so that's essentially the workout. If you do have questions, please just send us a message and I'll get back to you guys with the format of the actual workout. Real quick, I know that we didn't go over jump squats and drop squats. We have jump squats in round 1, drop squats in round 2. Let me show you what those look like. Stop sharing this. This is a good exercise just to get your heart rate up a little bit. It involves a little bit of power, which we can't really get with dynamic lifts right now because we don't have weights. So let's go ahead and I'll show you in station 1. This is the jump squat. Feet are shoulder width apart or wherever's comfortable. You're just in a squat position and then we're pedaling up. Okay. You want to land as softly as possible, especially if you have downstairs neighbors. You want to land as softly as possible, and you want to make sure your weight's evenly distributed on your feet. So when you drive up, you're going to obviously drive up through your toes, but when you land, you want to land evenly distributed on your feet. Don't land on your toes. For jump, those were jump squats. And then for drop squats, we're going to start with our feet together. You're going to go into that squat position. Again, weight is evenly distributed. And you're just going to be here. Again, landing softly, nice and controlled movement. All right. Cool. Any questions? Just let us know. We can answer them as quickly as possible. Yeah, have fun and send us your scores. All right, guys. Thanks.